recorded. Innovation. IJM, security agencies, professional bodies, service providers, the media, civil society organization, and all those who collaboration has been instrumental in advancing the post-statutory mandate. Their confidence, constructive engagement, and shared commitment to national development have been invaluable. To the millions of candidate parents and guardians whom the board exists to serve, I express my heartfelt appreciation for their trust, understanding, and constructive feedbacks over the years. Their expectations continually challenge us to improve our system and services, while reinforcing our determination to uphold the principle of fairness, equity, and transparency. As I reflect on this remarkable journey, I do so with immense gratitude rather than a sense of accomplishment. While I believe that together we have laid a solid foundation for a more transparent, efficient, and globally respected admission system, I remain conscious that institutional development is a continuous process. Whatever has been achieved represents only a platform upon which future administrations can build. Beyond the staff and institutional partners, are different categories of distinguished Nigerians who complemented our staff and supported our innovative frameworks to ensure success, guarantees success delivery, troubleshoot challenges, and enforce compliance across the country before, during, and after UTME. These are chairmen and members of our standing administrative committee, the chief electoral examiner group, the peace monitors, the civil society, JAMB equal opportunity, the general monitor, high powered opinion leaders, the roving group, the technical advisor group, virtues vanguard, and NIPES committee. I thank them all through my mentor, Professor Emeritus Peter Okebukola, the chairman of JAMB, whose extraordinary commitment to quality education and institutional excellence deserves a mention in the book of records. I must not fail to appreciate the Nigerian media, the large number of editorial and opinion articles that have been brought to my attention in the past few weeks still surprises me, and I find it unusual. I thank you all. I must acknowledge even those media organizations, I don't want to name names, that cast doubt on my competence and wondered how I could succeed as a professor of Islamic studies, succeed a professor of text measurement when I was appointed in 2016. For them to now write generously is quite unexpected, but I appreciate it. I equally appreciate all men and women of goodwill, including colleagues, friends, and associates who have one way or another expressed a good word, shared a progressive idea, demonstrated support, and offered advice in the course of this assignment. I cannot thank each of you enough, and may the Almighty Allah reward you in manifold ways. My stewardship. When I took over the mandate of leadership at JAMB 10 years ago, I outlined 5 cardinal points, and that's why cardinal point that my administration will be anchored on in a topic that in a title, a speech that I titled "Let's Do It Together." It's bigger in the world, we're doing it together. The cardinal points are welfare, discipline, technology, transparency, and networking. These cardinal points that I've mentioned, in this fight, though perfection belongs to Almighty Allah, I can confidently say we tried our best. Even that no business or organization can become greater than the thinking minds and consciousness of those who operate it. We took staff welfare with seriousness. Not only were the serving staff promoted as they were also provided with the tools to work and to some large extent a conducive environment. This is reflected in the rehabilitation of existing structure and the construction of new ones across the country. Then we committed over 8 billion, which the body of which I'm passing to my successor to continue. We committed over 8 billion, despite the fact that we have 3 billion in our kitchen for that purpose now. We have committed 8 billion naira to strengthen employees' retirement savings and their overall financial stability. This we do by budgeting 1 billion every year, the last 3 years, towards increasing additional welfare package for our staff. That when we at the end of it, we actually do it. And we are setting that 3 billion out of the resources we have so that we can people have signed that agreement here before so there was an issue. So it will have been 3 billion for and then we committed over 8 billion to strengthen employees' retirement, savings, and the overall financial stability, provided retirement handshake of between 3 million and 10 million to retiring staff, and introduced an extra annual salary bonus of which we call 13th month salary to boost the morale of staff. Besides, we introduced examination duty incentive of 10%, which we recently increased to 20%, and provide one daily meal for every staff of the board. And for headquarters staff, we supplemented their salary with free transport for staff stationed at critical operational hubs. We also intervened in medical treatment of staff with an instance of the staff getting as much as 12 million for his treatment at the National Hospital. We rewarded exceptional staff with cash and awards while we named a JAMB zonal office and a complex after a staff member who demonstrated hard work and resilience, and everything anybody does, any staff who did well for us, we will acknowledge. Even in some of the interventions through legislative scrutiny, we stood by our decision because without dedicated and motivated staff, we wouldn't achieve the JAMB that Nigeria deserves. Beyond the staff, we also extended welfare to students, reducing the cost of wheelchair application by 30%, and sponsoring the special needs candidates and their guides to exam venues, in addition to refunding application fee, feeding and accommodating them. We also extended acts of fellowship to the institutions, our university polytechnic, by dispensing annually full NATAP award about 750 million to different tertiary institutions in the country. I think the last was 500 million was given to University of Jos and others 50 million. It is said that the first law in heaven, that's the second leg of my road plan. It is said that the first law in heaven is discipline, and in discipline, the mother of all evils. So we promote and enhance staff welfare. We did not condone indiscipline. In this regard, we did not shy away from maintaining strict discipline, and more than 10 staff have faced prosecution over allegations of misconduct. The sensationalized case of a slave dropping 36 million naira that the media feasted on was just one of the measures taken to entrench discipline. Many people did not even know that it happened before I assumed office. It's my duty to be known as the snake catcher. That was hammer. I remember that if the FCC tweeted that people representing the EFCC show no mercy for money swallowing snakes of JAMB. I share the belief that they must all suffer for either the pain of discipline or the pain or regret of disappointment. This is why discipline is incontestable as a cardinal principle of JAMB operation, and that accounts for remittances of crores of billions in operational surpluses to the government treasury. Technology. At the heart of our operational blueprint is technology, and we owe many of our far-reaching reforms to innovative technologies, scaling up computer-based tests, which we met, improvement of digital architecture, creating CAPs, advancing biometric and identity verification, CCTV monitoring, digital pins, and payment as well as remote authoring and moderation system RAMs, and institutional digital transformation as one of the steps taken to make our operation seamless on rock solid integrity. We also commenced the Bring Your Device initiative, which we believe will be perfected and operationalized. What happened last year, which made me emotional, was a proof he has to see it. Just like everything you price of liberty. My still, it's also transparency, as I believe that only darkness is afraid of light. In this regard, our operational and financial transactions are in the open domain in our newspaper JAMB bulletin and available on our website up to today, always containing details of our activities and finances. Transparencies go beyond the material as it involves admission process itself. With a system like ours, which is deemed revolutionary, the admission to our institution are transparent and anyone can question why a candidate is not admitted despite meriting. The syndrome of under-the-table admission has been confined to activity, and this actually brings relief to all stakeholders. My belief is that transparency, which is about ensuring that honest, accurate, and accessible information is available even before asking, transform institutions by eliminating toxic silos. Networking. Lastly, on networking, we could not have achieved anything without leveraging network and partnership. We enjoy the cooperation of the security agencies, and I thank the National Security Advisor, the Director General of State Services, the DG of NIA, the Inspector General of Police, and the Commandant of the Commandant General of the NSCDC. We work functionally with our armed forces, the EFCC, and ICPC. We thank them all. We have enjoyed working hand in hand with Vice Chancellor, Rectors, and Provosts, being Chief Examination Officers. We work with the National Identity Management Commission, NIMSI, civil society groups, the media, public institutions, and 1,010 CBT owners to achieve excellent service delivery. The contribution of the Nigerian Communication Commission (NCC) in providing highly valued professional test center is of immense benefit, for which we are grateful, and we are hopeful that they will renew this partnership by name NCC. We cooperated with professional associations within and outside Nigeria, especially AEAA, AWAU, IEAA. We also established a collaboration with 18 other credible national agencies and institutions. The Nigerian Educational Assessment Academy, NEAA, for training of professionally competent educational assessors. That was the reason why I stated that working as a team with partners and networking with others make us achieve more. And that is what is by team. Team meaning together, everyone achieve more, which we hold as our own mantra. In these 5 key areas and others, Professor Okemukula has painstakingly made a list of some 200 achievements that I thank him immensely for his labor of love and service to our nation. I must also be commended. Since yesterday when I decided to make this speech, I've resisted the urge to mention any staff of JAMB or any of my friends by name, but I can't resist one or two of them because it's too glaring that I must mention them. I must put on record the foundational efforts of Senator Shuaibu Afolabi Salisu, Mr. Fabian Okoro, Dami Bamiru, and Moru Afolabi, with whom we activated the initial plan of action in Abeokuta. Immense gratitude is also due to Professor Bashir Galadashi, Yahuza Bello, Boniface Nwoku, and Ekanem Igwe, whom I fondly call my junior sister, though she is chronologically older than me. The contributions of my dear brother, and my dear brother, Mr. Musa Bello, FCA, is unique. And I mentioned him as an exception before he's going. So there is no, if I can mention everybody, but I will take the opportunity that before he's going, that Mr. Bello, I'm very, very grateful. I cannot thank you enough. There is sincerity, incorruptibility, and consistency. May God reward you abundantly. My professor's progress. When I stood at the threshold of this national assignment 10 years ago, I understood the depth of the responsibility placed on me. I knew the privilege and burden of stewardship. The privilege when people say, oh, the registrar, your head will feel big. But the pain inside it is also there. And see what a process that opened the door to millions of Nigerians. One thing I remember clearly was that I was just like a general on a military expedition. And to fight, I needed officers and troops. God has been so helpful to me to make many good people come my way. And with all these stakeholders, we have faced challenges and seized opportunities, confronted doubts, and nurtured innovation. We have tried over the past 10 years to sustain a noble mandate of ensuring fairness, standard, and credibility in placing candidates in our tertiary institutions. During this period, we modernized processes, invested in technology, drastically reduced malpractice, ensured transparency. We also raised the bar of accountability in ways that have restored confidence in the system and the integrity of the scores produced. We made mistakes because we are human, and we corrected them. But whatever was done right, it was a collective effort. For whatever was not good enough, I accept responsibility and crave your pardon. What matters most is that the institution today is trending leadership of this great system. I do so with absolute confidence of its future. In its future, the board is blessed with a dedicated workforce, robust institutional system, and enduring culture of integrity. I have no doubt that under the leadership of my successor, Professor Sheikh Maina, and with the continued support of government, the governing board, staff, and stakeholders, JAMB will continue to attain even greater heights in the service of our nation. I wish that was my successor. Greater success, and the success is the success of us all. All of us who have had the privilege to steer JAMB since inception, in whatever capacity, the success is our success. My belief is that the board, my belief is that the advantage of the vibrancy of his younger age and his ICT expertise will propel the board to higher heights than previously attained. They can rest assured of my advice as and when it is required. As I said at the beginning of this month, during a George engagement, my admission to the surgeon, which only congratulated after his surgery, was made at the beginning of my stewardship to detect the flex from receiving congratulatory messages. Now it appears that the people took it literally, and that is why I'm receiving more congratulations at exit than at the point of entry. I enjoin all to appreciate that there is no success without a successor. And they should rather support and pray for Mr. Eno's success at this point. It is time to face the future with renewed vigor. While returning to my family and my close circle of friends with gratitude, I have many few of them, so they are well known. I thank my wife, my children and grandchildren, and my bosom friends who are like my blood brothers, who selflessly stood by me supported me, and genuinely shared my pains and anxieties with the hope that it will soon be over. Okay. That I said, who selflessly stood by me, supported me, and genuinely shared my pains and anxieties with the hope that it will soon be over. It is now over. Thank you. Finally, I thank Almighty Allah, Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, for the privilege of serving Nigeria through this noble institution. May He continue to guide, protect, and bless JAMB in the faithful discharge of His statutory responsibilities for this generation and generation. Thank you all for your attention, and we wish you all the best as I hand over to my able and amiable successor, Professor Aina. Aina, as he competently leads the world to the future, and the future is now. Professor Aina, the sky shall be your beginning, not your end. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you again. May we be seated?
Yes, thank you. We need to aside.
While they are performing the signature ceremony, may I introduce some PIBs that came in. We have with us now Professor Jonathan Ayuba, Council Chairman, Auchi Prosthetics. Sir, you're welcome. We also have in attendance Dr. Bakar Abudi, EG National Productivity Center. Sir, you're welcome. Dr. Mohammed Aminu, Registrar NAPTEP, is also here with us now. Thank you. This event is being broadcast on our X, Instagram, YouTube, and all our staff are also in attendance via Zoom. It is the handover ceremony now. The item 4. I can see some cutoffs in my body. I don't know. I suppose they were supposed to be closed by them. I don't know if it is money. Maybe you have to open it so that the media can see it very well. Somebody knows that I don't get swallowed by snake. Yes. There are no snakes in Jamajet. Thank you. We also have our media, all the representatives of the media, platform in Nigeria are here. They arise, the channel, the NT, the AIT, the AIT, the papers, the online, the good and the bad ones, all are here today. At this point,
let me overread you first. For the last time, we have in the handover note a list of items, minutes of our meeting, topic of meeting, list of agencies that we have API integration with, the calendar for 2020-2027, admission briefing, update on implementation of new NCE, internal audit, auditors report 2023 to 2025, and assets register, January to June budget performance, capital project, federal government financial regulation, 2026 budget, payment platform, list of service providers, external auditors report 2023, 2024, and 2025. Land and building inventory, motor vehicle inventory, statement of account in CBN as at the 31st of July 2026 this morning. When I say that first, I mean 8 o'clock this morning. Remittances and receipt, letter on danger of what the 25% automatic deduction, which is recently been to JAMB, whereby government deducts 25% upfront from any money coming in. The danger in it, as I see it, is there. Auditor General periodic check 2024 and 2025. And we have JAMB CBT centers and for list of it, JAMB play sponsored CBT, list of centers with all things like you are there, you are in better position. That's the media that almost I overtook me, but I know you are open. Think clients that you need to operate. Human resource, staff and manual condition of service, equipment exercise 2026, staff promotion exercise 2026, disciplinary action, organogram, staff posting, nominal role, based on welfare, health financial support, and NEA. Also quality assurance mechanism, JAMB use of integration, date of major activities, and so on. Legal Services, Joint Admission and Matriculation Act, Federal Republic of Nigeria Official Gazette, Litigation Register, list of contract agreement, list of MOU, registered service providers, external solicitor for ongoing cases, list of legal consultant on non-cash work of the office, list of project management consultant on non-cash work of the office, and JAMB bulletin up to 2026 July. Internationalization of admission into tertiary institution, our annual report from 2016 to 2025, and draft of January to June annual report. Other publications are also there of JAMB, including write-up on underage Nigerian universities procurement department. We also give ongoing procurement plan, Federal Republic of Nigeria official gazette, contact registered in the last 10 years, current circular on threshold, current circular on threshold, current circular on threshold. Because those who are chief executives know that is a no-go area. And I almost fell into to that problem whether it was in that's why I'm mentioning it. Updated outstation law input into Registrar Handover, more approved centrally by state and approved centrally state by state. My privilege and honor to attend we wanted me to give their next your best. Yeah. Oh, yeah, bring them. But please, can you carry it? I will look for it's not even. Their next I wish you. Right. Thank you. Where is the second one? It's not the same thing. We are bringing it. The man who is the architect says so. The number 8 is written here. Others are written on the app. Want to keep the I have the privilege of presenting Professor Fredman. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At this point, invite the sixth registrar of the Joint Admission from Acquisition Board, Professor Shebu Aina, for his inaugural address. 2 minutes, then we explain for the night. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Fifth Registrar of JAMB, Professor Ishaq Oluyede. Please, let's listen. The fifth Registrar of JAMB, Professor Ishaq Oluyede. Our invited guests, my advance, permit me to acknowledge you all through the Director General of the National Directorate of Employment, the Silas Apparent. Management of JAMB, complete all staff of JAMB. My ever supported wife, members of the press corps, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Today I stand, but I sit before you with a grateful heart, deep humility, and abiding sense of responsibility. First and foremost, I give glory to Almighty God, whose grace alone makes events such as this possible. There are appointments that mark the next step in a career, and there are appointments that become a solemn call to serve one's country. For me, this is the latter. I'm profoundly grateful to His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for the confidence he has reposed in me by entrusting me with the leadership of one of Nigeria's most consequential public institutions. I assure Mr. President and indeed every Nigerian that I shall discharge this responsibility with integrity, with fairness, diligence, and an unwavering commitment to the public. Permit me to also express my sincere appreciation to the Honorable Minister of Education, Dr. Tunji Alausa, whose passion for reform and commitment to improving the quality of education continue to inspire confidence in the future of our nation. I look forward to working closely with you, sir, to continue the important task of strengthening Nigeria's education system. I also wish to acknowledge the Minister of State for Education, Professor Swaiba Ahmed, and all the staff of the Federal Ministry of Education. I also look forward to working with you in advancing our shared vision for quality, equitable, and accessible education for every Nigerian. No one arrives at a moment like this alone. I owe an immeasurable debt to my parents, whose sacrifices taught me that education remains the greatest inheritance any parent can give a child. I thank my family members, my mentors, my teachers, my colleagues at Obafemi Awolowo University, and the many people who believed in me long before this day. To my wife, our children, thank you for the sacrifices you have quietly made in support of my public service. Whatever recognition comes with this office belongs to you as much as it does to me. Today is also an opportunity to honor those who have led this institution before me. Every generation inherits a foundation built by those who came before it. JAMB is no exception. Successive registrars and indeed staff have strengthened this institution in different ways, ensuring that it continues to play a vital role in Nigeria's education system. I acknowledge their service with gratitude and respect. I pay tribute to Mr. Michael Angolu, the pioneer registrar, whose vision and pioneering leadership laid the foundations upon which this institution stands today. I honor Dr. Mohammed Abdurrahman, whose decade of stewardship provided stability and continuity during an important period in the board's evolution. I salute Professor Bello Salim, whose foresight helped initiate the board's journey towards computerization and modernization, and who I actually frequently traveled with as a child in the company of my father. I recognize Professor Dibu Jeremy. I remember how he encouraged me to complete my NYSC at the time and offered me a home in JAMB. It is because of him that my return here today is a homecoming. His time as registrar embraced transformative digital reforms, including the introduction of computer-based tests, which fundamentally changed the conduct of public examinations in Nigeria. Thank you, sir. And my immediate predecessor, Professor Ishaq Oluyede, whose tenure significantly strengthened the credibility and operational excellence of JAMB. Permit me to say a few personal words directly to you, sir. Thank you, sir, not only for the institution you leave behind, but for the generosity, openness, and grace with which you have conducted this transition. Leadership is not measured by only how we assume office, but also how we prepare others to succeed. Your willingness to share your experience, answer difficult questions, and place the interest of the institution above all else reflects the very values that have come to define your stewardship. For that, I shall always remain grateful. Ladies and gentlemen, nearly 20 years ago, as a young National Youth Corps member, I walked through the gates of JAMB for the very first time. I could never have imagined that one day I would return as its registrar. That experience shaped my appreciation of the institution in ways I only fully understand today. It allowed me to see JAMB not merely as an examination body, but as a community of dedicated public servants whose work quietly changes the lives of millions of Nigerians every year, even in the most remote parts of the country. Today, I return with even greater respect for the responsibility that they carry. JAMB is often described as an examination body. I see it as much more than that. Every year, it becomes the bridge between aspiration and opportunity for millions of young people. Behind every registration number is a young person with a dream. Behind every application is a family making sacrifices. Behind every admission is the hope for a better future. Very few public institutions are entrusted with something so precious, and that trust is our greatest asset. It is also our greatest responsibility. The office I assume today does not belong to me. It belongs to every young Nigerian whose future passes through the JAMB. It belongs to every parent who works tirelessly to provide opportunities for their child. It belongs to every institution that depends on the credible admissions process. It belongs to every member of staff who have devoted years of honest service to building this institution. And it belongs to the generation of yet unborn who deserve institutions that are stronger than the ones we inherited. That understanding will guide every decision I make. As I prepared to assume this office, I spent considerable time listening, learning, and asking questions. What I discovered strengthened my confidence. I found an institution blessed with remarkable people who have all become security professionals who work tirelessly to protect the integrity of our examination. These men and women are amongst JAMB's greatest assets. I therefore come to this office not with the illusion that I possess all the answers, but rather with the conviction that many of the answers already exist within this institution. My responsibility is to provide leadership that allows those ideas to flourish. Leadership, in my view, is not about becoming the smartest person in the room. It's about creating an environment where talented people can do their best work. It's about replacing fear with purpose, replacing personalities with enduring systems, and replacing uncertainty with trust. That's the kind of leadership I intend to offer. There is one conviction that has become clearer to me than ever before. The credibility of any public institution should never rest on one individual, no matter how capable. It must rest on values, on systems, on partnerships, on accountability, on people who understand that there are many custodians of an institution that must outlive them. If at the end of my stewardship, JAMB becomes less dependent on individuals and more dependent on strong systems, less vulnerable to personalities and more resilient because of its culture, then I shall consider my service worthwhile. Because institutions become truly great when their values outlive their leaders. Our purpose is therefore simple: to strengthen the trust that Nigerians place in this institution even further, and to reduce the stress, uncertainty, and anxiety experienced by our customers, people we serve. When I speak of our customers, I mean first and foremost the millions of candidates who entrust us with their dreams, and the parents and guardians who make extraordinary sacrifices to support them. I also recognize the institutions and partners who depend on the quality and integrity of our work. Every decision we make must strengthen their confidence in JAMB. Every improvement we make should leave them with a better experience than they had before. Every interaction should reassure them that they are dealing with an institution that is fair, transparent, and genuinely committed to serving them. That is the standard we must set for ourselves, and that is the trust that we hold for the Nigerian people. Ladies and gentlemen, trust is not built by speeches. It's built by decisions, by the choices we make when no one is watching, by the standards we refuse to compromise, and by the confidence that every Nigerian can place in the fairness of this institution. That is why the first commitment of my stewardship is simple: we shall protect the integrity of JAMB in everything the law permits. Integrity is not merely one of our values. It is the foundation upon which every other achievement rests. Without integrity, technology becomes a tool for manipulation. Without integrity, efficiency loses its meaning. Without integrity, public confidence disappears. Every young Nigerian must know that success in JAMB will continue to be earned through preparation, merit, and honest effort, not through influence, manipulation, or fraud. Permit me to therefore speak directly to those who seek to undermine the integrity of our examinations, to those who organize examination malpractice, to those who recruit impersonators, to those who forge credentials, to those who compromise CBT centers, to those who exploit desperate candidates and anxious parents, to those dishonest officials, to those who engage in cybercrime, extortion, bribery, identity theft, or any other sharp practice designed to undermine the integrity of our examinations and its admissions process. Hear me clearly. Your business is with the wrong institution. JAMB will continue to deploy every lawful technological and administrative and investigative measure available to detect, and prosecute examination malpractice and every other form of fraud against the board. We will continue to strengthen our partnerships with law enforcement and security agencies. We will continue to improve our system. We will invest in stronger technology. We will learn from global best practice, and we will ensure that those who seek to outsmart the system increasingly find themselves outmatched by it. The future belongs to those who prepare, not those who cheat. Every fraudulent admission secured through malpractice is a place stolen from an honest Nigerian. It is theft of opportunity. It is theft of hope. And it is a theft from the future of our nation. We shall do everything within the law to ensure that such theft does not succeed. But to every honest candidate, to every conscientious parent, to every ethical CBT center, to every member of staff who has defended the integrity of this institution, let me assure you today, we have an unwavering partner in JAMB. We will defend honesty with the same determination that we confront fraud. Ladies and gentlemen, integrity alone is not enough. We must also become an institution that serves with empathy. Every year, millions of young Nigerians approach JAMB with excitement, hope, and quite often anxiety. For many families, registering for the Unified Tertiary Matriculation exam represents months of sacrifices. Some travel long distances, some save for months, some navigate unfamiliar processes with uncertainty and fear. We must never forget that. An institution entrusted with dreams must never become the source of unnecessary family. That is why I want every member of staff to adopt a simple philosophy. Every interaction with JAMB should leave a customer feeling more informed, more respected, and less anxious than when they arrive. Whether they walk into one of our offices, call our help desk, visit our website, or interact with us online, they should encounter professionalism, courtesy, clarity, and genuine care. Our customers deserve nothing less. We shall continue to simplify our processes, improve our communication, strengthen our customer support, embrace technology where it makes service easier. We'll protect information with the highest security standards, invest in our people, modernize the way we work even further, and build systems that are efficient, transparent, and worthy of the confidence Nigerians place in us. These are not ends in themselves. They are how we honor the trust that have been placed in this institution. My dear colleagues, the staff of JAMB, allow me to speak directly to you now, extraordinary men and women of JAMB. I'm honored to join you, not simply as your registrar, but as your colleague in public service. I have enormous confidence in your abilities. I've seen your professionalism. I've witnessed your commitment. I know the sacrifices many of you make, often away from public attention. You deserve leadership that listens, leadership that recognizes excellence, leadership that invests in your growth, leadership that creates an environment where innovation is encouraged and integrity is rewarded even further. This is the culture we shall build together and continue to build together. But I ask something of you in return. Bring your ideas, challenge outdated assumptions, look for better ways of doing things. If you see a process that creates unnecessary hardship for Nigerians, help us improve it. If you discover a weakness, let us strengthen it. If you see excellence in a colleague, celebrate it. The future of JAMB will not be built from the office of the registrar. It will be built by thousands of dedicated public servants choosing every day to do ordinary things extraordinarily well. That will be our greatest competitive advantage. To our vice chancellors, rectors, and provosts, leaders of tertiary institutions, although my bosses, I extend my hand in partnership. We are custodians of different stages of the same educational journey. Our success is shared. Our challenges are shared. Our responsibility to Nigeria's young people is also shared. Let us continue to deepen our collaboration, strengthen our mutual trust, and pursue reforms through consultation, evidence, and shared purpose. To our sister agencies, particularly NUC, MBTE, NCC, development partners, and the private sector in general, I say this. The challenges facing education are too great for any institution to solve it. Partnership is not a sign of weakness. It is the recognition that lasting progress is built through collaboration. To parents and guardians across Nigeria, thank you. Thank you for believing in the transformative power of education. I'm a personal beneficiary of this. Thank you for the sacrifices you make. Thank you for trusting JAMB with something so precious as your children's future. Which I work every day to justify that trust. And to the young people of Nigeria, you are the reason this institution exists. Never allow anyone to convince you that integrity no longer matters. It does. Never believe that shortcuts are a substitute for preparation. They are not. Never surrender your future to those who promise success without effort. Believe in your ability, believe in honest work, believe that character will always outlast cleverness. Nigeria needs your intelligence, but it needs your integrity even more. As I conclude, permit me to return to where I began. Trust. Every year, millions of Nigerians place something priceless in the hands of JAMB. Not simply examination fees, not registration forms, not application numbers. They place their hopes, their sacrifices, their dreams, their future. That trust is sacred, and it demands our very best. So today, before Almighty God, before this distinguished gathering, and before the people of Nigeria, I make this solemn pledge that we shall be faithful stewards to trust people. We shall protect the integrity of this institution. We shall serve every customer with dignity. We shall continue to strengthen our systems. We shall embrace innovation without sacrificing fairness. We shall remain accountable for every decision we make. And we shall never lose sight of the young people's aspirations to give purpose to the world. Finally, let me leave every member of the JAMB family with a simple closer. Before we answer an email, before we approve a document, before we make a decision, before we respond to a complaint, before we exercise the authority entrusted in us, let us each ask ourselves, will what I do today make it easier or harder for an honest Nigerian child to realize their dreams? If the answer is harder, then we must not do it. If the answer is easier, then we must do it with excellence. One day, every one of us will leave this institution and others will take our place. What must remain is a JAMB that is stronger than we found it. A JAMB whose credibility rests not on any individual, but on its values, its systems, its partnerships, and its people. A JAMB that every Nigerian can trust. If we achieve that, we will have justified the confidence placed in us. May God bless the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board. May God bless every candidate and every family member whose future is linked to our work. May God bless our educational institutions, and may God continue to bless the Federal Republic.
When we see that, thank you very much, the 60 Registrar and Admissions in Matriculation Board. My colleagues here in the pen pushing profession. I don't know if you have questions. I presume that the speech is clear enough. What speech are clear enough? Or if you have one or two questions. Any question from the media? Go ahead. The voice is loud. And then make it clear who you want to ask. If you please mention my name.
My question goes to the outcome. Two questions. The first one is your tenure will be incomplete without the mention of the controversy surrounding midsummer, was investigated and she was handed a ban for 3 years. Some have said that was do you have any regret about that, or do you have any regrets in your say then secondly, what next after this? What next?
Any other question? Is that all?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
During panel. And also, what I find is the difference of the session. Then, okay, what I do keep what is starting as what to get everything. This mentioned in terms of physical exam, but what the chief that is what to do. Okay? And what about foundation for youth and students that highly exercise to what they are doing? Thank you.
That's awesome. Okay. Um, let me answer your questions. The first one is pension. I don't know why in Nigeria some things that ought to be left alone would be looking at. I think we have completed that matter. Decision has been made about Nigerians and any sensible person knew that here was our daughter who is here and the nation dead in family, without family. It was like a father or a parent, any parent dealing with his or her child. No hard feelings. If there is any regret, it was a regret that she did what because she's part of us too. Is we did what we should, and of course we regret that she did what she did, and many people unfortunately were directed. But as soon as the truth was established, everybody who was supporting her, uh, I could see one of them here now, the commissioner for education in our state, who was giving me tough time at that time, asking me questions. Immediately the first one, he was the first person to write to them to say, no, sorry, we've got the truth of the matter. Because every parent will want to believe some of these things. When you see them, you want to believe that they are too innocent to manufacture such. So I have to be prepared that some people supported that. But I'm happy that at the end of the day, JAMB has been vindicated. And of course, uh, yes, but that does not remove from the punishment she has to serve. It's not out of wickedness, but in order to serve as deterrent. I think she will put I have one or two of my former students who are at university that I have to take some very hard decisions with them. With them, we are very good friends. And when they come say, okay, I like what you did at that time because I actually committed the offense to the child. I think once we do not do things on the basis of hatred, and the office require that we do certain things calculated, there should be no regret, there should be no ill feeling about it. So no regret. The second one, what next? Only God knows what is next. But for me, what's next is for me to find the global impact and my religious like to prepare for going back. I think that's what is next for me. Uh, you cannot serve in these past 10 years without losing one spiritual quality of life. So I need to do back and we are in a very dangerous mistake that in one way or the other you will have violated your own principles yourself. You need some time to go and thank God for what he was done, people of you to be on your behalf by people. And you have to accept the responsibility. Do not forgive each and every one of us. Now, for my greatest achievement, if there is any achievement, I think I do not live that worse than I met. So I think that to me, after challenges or like I don't know anything at all, there are many challenges for him. And in the last 1 month that we are working together, I do not, I have no, I'm not hiding for him that he has problems. I really got that as if him. For example, many people praise me. Now, although he didn't reduce the cost of UTM, so I pity him because if he increases it by 1 people will say, look, this man is deviating. But he must, from October 1 all of you are aware that Mr. President has graciously approved the increase in DTA per kilometer. So for a director to go to Lagos on assignment now, maybe 500 with your DTA, maybe 500, 600 can do it. But from October, I don't think 800,000 because of the increase in DTA, because we rely very heavily on movement, conducting exam and so on. But I do not think it. Government that made the policy will not provide you. So what you will do, I pray that God will be with you. One of the happiest moments of my life was that the president said with effect from October. Of the challenge. And I also think that technology. Another, well, he is competent. He is an expertise in that. But I still have my fears. I have my fear that he might be too trusting of technology, too trusting of individual that may give him a. We went somewhere, he almost collapsed. I won't mention the place. When I saw him, he almost collapsed. And Fabian, you were there. And I said, this man will collapse. Because what he saw, I know he will never tell anybody. No, so and he said he stabilized after some time. And I think that, okay, this man is being baptized. So, I know that we have challenges. There are very serious challenges. There are certain things when people ask me to write autobiography, I say, how do I write? There are certain things we could die with. That it's better for you to die with than to say that. Face such things in life. This office, we will come across such things that you will not be able to tell you who is driving what. That guy say, your wife will say, what's happening? Challenges, but I'm confident that giving is antecedent, giving what people know of his origin. I have no doubt in my mind that he will do the best for this nation.
What will be my immediate priority? I think from the submission of the fifth registrar, I think prayer needs to come. After those, I think our approach is going to be methodical. We're going to listen more, observe more, interrogate the systems more as they exist, and try to methodically walk through consolidating the gains that have been made and slowly building upon them. I think you have more details shortly.
Talking about oneness, the former governor was asked that question. I think you have been a senator, first the chairman, a member of House of Reps, a senator, and a governor, and they say oneness. They declare for you to go and die. Thank you very much. We have come to the end of this event. We'll have a photograph outside with the former registrar, the registrar, the guests from the registrar and the former registrar, and the members of management just outside, please. Thank you.